Good morning, everyone. So, today let's begin with a new chapter, that is photosynthesis. Okay, now already you know what is photosynthesis, isn't it? That means you have already studied in your school levels that photosynthesis actually means the process of formation of food by the green plants, isn't it? So, now let us discuss some details regarding this topic. Okay, so what is actually photosynthesis? What are the different steps that are being taken place? Okay, so first of all, let us see what is photosynthesis. It is actually an anabolic process of manufacture of organic compounds inside the chlorophyll containing cells. Okay, that means whatever our basic knowledge is that photosynthesis, food is being prepared, that is organic food is prepared with the help of chloroplast, carbon dioxide, water, minerals, okay, and in presence of sunlight, which is the most important thing. So we know that this is the basic reaction for photosynthesis, that is carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll enzymes and the radiant energy, that is the solar energy, it combines together to form the glucose molecule, that is the carbohydrate source. Okay, and here oxygen is released. So this is the main thing that is taking place during the photosynthetic reaction. Okay, now here actually what happens, yeah, here 6 water molecules is left. Okay, this is the basic reaction for the photosynthesis. Now while we are studying about photosynthesis, so there are definitely some important factors, isn't it? So why actually photosynthesis is important? It helps in synthesis of organic food. First of all, that it helps to convert the radiant solar energy into the chemical energy, and many useful products of the plants are obtained through this photosynthesis process. Okay, now and another important thing is that it helps to maintain the oxygen and carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. Okay, now different scientists have actually done different experiments regarding the photosynthesis process. So let us first discuss the Joseph Priestley's experiment, which is one of the most important ones. So Joseph Priestley, he took a bell jar, and then in that he inside it put a candle and a mice. Hope this is looking like a mice. Okay, so then what happened, he closed this and prepared the apparatus. So here what happened, after some time a foul smelling air was produced, which we call it as the phlogiston. Okay, and due to this what happened, the mice died. In the second diagram you can see that the candle has also it has also run off and the mice has also died. Then next what happened, he planted a plant. Okay, he kept a plant inside that bell jar. Then he observed that gradually the air was purified and the mice was able to survive there. Okay, that means that particular air is now called the dephlogiston air, that is the oxygen. Okay, so he first discovered oxygen. So this experiment is important in regard to photosynthesis. That means the carbon dioxide that is produced through respiration by this mice and by burning of this candle, that produces a foul gas that is called the phlogiston, which is purified if plants are available. Okay, now of the for photosynthesis, actually about 11.2 into 10 to the power 14 tons of carbon dioxide is used by the plants, okay, from the atmosphere. Now let us discuss about the raw material. So there are different raw materials that are being needed for photosynthesis. So first is the carbon dioxide, which is obtained from the nature. Okay, that is atmosphere. Water, we'll obtain it from the soil surface. Then light. The particles of light, we call them as the photons. Okay, and the energy value of photon is quantum. Now this light particles, now we know that different light wavelength are there. Visible light, which is ranges from 390 to 760, and we know what is VIBGYOR: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So these VIBGYOR radiations, they have different wavelengths, and accordingly what happened, these wavelengths they show different type of colored radiations. Now the light above 760 nanometer, we call it as the far red radiations. Then light below 390, that is below the Webber part, is the ultraviolet radiations, and the radiations that are longer than red are called the infrared rays. Okay. Now again, while discussing about the light part, we come across the term that is called the photosynthetically active radiations. That means what happened, the light used for photosynthesis. Okay, the particular range of light which is used for photosynthetic synthesis is called the photosynthetically active radiation, or the PAR. Okay, now PAR, this word is frequently used in the questions, so remember it. Photosynthetically active radiations, that is the radiation which is taken by plants for photosynthesis. Now see, now we are telling that chlorophyll is being applied, green plants. So normally it sounds that green is the region where maximum photosynthesis takes place. But actually what happened, in the blue and red region, maximum amount of photosynthesis takes place. And in the green region, actually minimum photosynthesis takes place. Okay. Now the next is the chloroplast. Now already we have discussed about the chloroplast in our cells chapter, isn't it, about the structure. So let's once revise it. Okay, now see, this is the structure of chloroplast. Okay, now in this structure actually what happens, this is the outer layer, that means the membrane, outer membrane. Now here what happens, actually these are the thylakoids. Okay, the plate like this, like structures which are stacked together, that is the thylakoids. These thylakoids, they together form a bunch or a stack. That particular stack is called the granum. And thylakoids, they are the major sites of light reaction. Then this is the matrix or the stroma, which is the site of dark reaction. And these granum are interconnected through the stroma, lamella, or the frets. Okay, so these are the main things regarding the chloroplast. Now when we are discussing about the thylakoid, actually what happened, these thylakoids are stacked in this portion. Okay, that means they are overlapped one another. Now this portion towards the outer part of the granum is called the margin, and in between the place, that means between two thylakoid, is called the partition. Now suppose we consider this is the thylakoid. So there are four major complexes in thylakoid: photosystem 1, photosystem 2, coupling factor, and cytochrome B6F. Okay, so the photosystem, it is present towards the margin portion. So we are already telling that this portion is the margin, so it is present towards the margin. And the photosystem 2, it is present towards the partition. Okay, then coupling factors and cytochrome B6F, these are all together present throughout the whole membrane of the thylakoid. Okay, now next we come to the pigments. Pigments, now see, chlorophyll A, B, C, D, E. Okay, chlorophyll A, which is the universal photosynthetic pigment, that means it is present in almost all type of plants. That's why we call it as the universal photosynthetic pigment. Then besides this, also some pigments like carotenoids are there, which are yellow, brown, or reddish in color. Okay, now for example, the carotene, that is yellow color. Okay, then carotene, it is orange color, and the red color of chili and tomato, that is due to the carotene lycopene. Okay, then xanthophylls are yellow colored. Now brown algae, that consist of the fucoxanthin, which is also a coloring pigment. Then phycobilins are there, phycocyanin, which is blue color, phycoerythrin, which is red color. Okay, that means in different type of organisms, these pigments take part in the photosynthetic process. Okay, now next we come to the photoluminescence. Photoluminescence, actually it is the phenomenon of re-radiations of absorbed energy. That means the particular amount of energy that is being absorbed, that it is re-radiated. So that is called photoluminescence, and it is of two types: phosphorescence and fluorescence. Phosphorescence means the delayed radiations of long wave radiations. That means they are not immediately radiated back. Okay, it is delayed. And fluorescence means immediate radiation, immediately it is emitted. So that is called fluorescent. Now another important term we come across is immersion effect. Okay, now immersion, he found that we are telling that the red region is the maximum region where maximum photosynthesis take place. So during experiment he observed that the sharp radiations in the rate of photosynthesis, okay, when monochromatic beams were used, okay, but if suppose the rate of photosynthesis can be enhanced if the monochromatic beam of two different wavelengths was applied. That means below that red part, red region, the rate of photosynthesis abruptly falls. Okay, it becomes minimized. That is called the red drop or the immersion effect. This is a very important term for your exam purpose. So go through it properly. Okay. Now these are all the important and basic things. Okay, another more thing, absorption spectrum, that is the curve which shows the amount of energy of different wavelength. Okay, that is called absorption spectrum. And action spectrum means the graphic curve depicting the relative rates of photosynthesis at different wavelengths. So how much photosynthesis is taking place at which wavelength, that is called action spectrum. So these are all the important things regarding the introductory part of photosynthesis. Hope these terms are clear to you. If these are clear, then it will become easier for understanding the mechanism of photosynthesis. So go through the videos properly, through the notes. If you find any problem, then please let me know.